Here's the headline, and we'll get into the details. This is from PGAtour.com. PGA Tour, DP World Tour, and PIF announce newly formed commercial entity to unify golf. In short, PGA Tour, the DP World Tour, and LIV Golf, the PIF, Public Investment Fund of the financial arm of the Saudi Arabian government, have, quote, announced a landmark agreement to unify the game of golf on a global basis, end quote. This is a new entity, KP, that creates a for-profit commercial business to ensure stakeholder benefit from a model that delivers maximum excitement and competition among the game's best players.
Okay, so what's happening here? That we had a lot to talk about. I don't know if we'll get to it all, but what's happening here is what I think both entities wanted to happen all along. And they said a bunch of other stuff, like a lot of other where oxygen was spent on other things. But the PIF got its influence and it got its tentacles in golf, and the tour got its money. And ultimately, nothing else mattered. The fact that Jay Monahan's rolling Rory out there every week didn't matter. The fact that the fans were fed this apparent nonsense about, oh, well, this is sports washing and we're about legacy and all these different things. None of that mattered because the PIF found the tour's number, right? And it's like, I don't know if that is, I went back and found there's a New Yorker article from last fall. I think it's in October, Rick. And it's very good. It's very in-depth. And it talked about how the guys running the PIF, Yasser and Major Al-Soror, I think is his name. They went to the tour. This was reported in the New Yorker. They went to the tour back in 2018 and said, hey, we want to give you $1 billion. I don't know if that was a number, but effectively like a ton of money. And the tour, this was in the New Yorker, said, now we're good, right? And so what that feels like to me, Rick, I'm actually going to tweet this here in a second, is 5 years of the tour leveraging us for its gain. And that feels disgusting. And I don't know if that's what was happening, but to me on a Tuesday, as I sit here with all the defending that everybody's done of the tour for the last year, that's what it feels like on Tuesday.
Imagine Rory McIlroy.
Oh my gosh.
Justin Thomas being rolled out as the tour's punching bag to answer questions on a weekly basis and then get rugged by, I mean, this, I'm not, listen, I like the tour. I love golf. This is an embarrassment for Jay Monahan and the PGA Tour. I'm embarrassed. This is
it's just a gross way to treat your customer, right?
This is allegedly a player-run organization, and the players found out on Twitter this morning.
Yeah.
Like everybody else. Greg Norman got a phone call 2 minutes before they announced it on CNBC.
Which is sick. Which is just objectively sick, right?
Here's what's actually sick. Jay Monahan, bless his heart. I don't know how he's going to survive this one. I love the PGA Tour, but this is bad. Has spent the last 2 years tying PIF and LIV to Saudi Arabia and to 9/11 every chance he gets. Remember, he would call it the Saudi-backed golf league. That was strategic. He was not letting anyone forget where that money was coming from. And in a release that he sent to the players today, one of the exciting bullet points is, quote, PIF will make a financial investment to become a premier corporate sponsor of the PGA Tour. So all that talk about where the money was coming from now comes to him as an exciting bullet point that he can share with stakeholders.
Everybody's got a number.
It's sick, man.
Everybody's got a number. It's, I think what it is a lack of foresight, right? Because if if this was, you either should have seen this coming or should have just never done it. Right. This is like the middle ground, like, oh, let's wait a year and maybe they'll get to a high enough number. Again, I don't know if that's what happened. That's what it feels like happened. I feel like I was a pawn in the tour's negotiation with the PIF. And fans should feel that way. Everybody should feel that way. Rory should feel like he was like the freaking like queen that just got toppled, right?